Hey there, YouTube. It's Mountain Man 3225. Well, today we thought we'd come back and do another ham radio video. Today, I'm going to give you a grand tour of my shack. And those of you who are seeing this on QRZ, hope y'all enjoy this. Please rate, comment, subscribe. I've got a lot of other interesting things on the channel. Those of you on YouTube or newcomers to YouTube just found this video, same for you. Please check out my other video. They'll play harmonica, work on mini trucks, do a little bit of everything. Just a little bit of everything. This is just one facet of many different things I do. But anyways, with that, let's get the old Sony rolling, and we'll start with the antennas and work our way inwards. Y'all come along for the ride. Alrighty, had to zoom out a little bit here, but we'll show you kind of what we started with. Back many years ago, that kind of grew into our stuff today. This pole right here used to hold about two 10-foot sections of rigid conduit, which held an Antron 99. Great antenna, I still have the antenna, but 20 feet was just not enough for me. So a good friend of mine, AE4TN, sold me a rotor, tower, and a beam, 12-element Cushcraft. Well, as time progressed, actually I'm gonna have to change positions here because there's too much sun where I'm looking, so there we go. Maybe this will be better. Yeah, much better. Anyways, as time progressed, the tower grew. There's the VHF 10-element A148-10S Cushcraft. Had to upgrade the beam. Found out the other one was a 220-440. Sold that to KI4NZJ, who was in the last video. And there's the Antron. Now most people think of an Antron 99 as a CB antenna, and in most cases that is what it's used for, but I'm going to show y'all something really cool. So with that, we'll stop here for a minute, go get set up in the shack, and be right back with you. Alrighty, this is the shack. I'll slide some stuff out of the way, set that out of the way for a minute. We'll start with this piece of equipment right here. This is a little modification my brother made for me back when I first started getting into studio microphones back years ago. It's just a basic mic bracket taped into a D104 mic stand. It's been gutted, but it does its job good. I'm using a Sterling pin mic, I think they call that, and that's used for testing when I'm dialing in my EQ system. As you hear, there's a radio running in the background, and we'll get to that in a minute. So starting with, and there's my certificate of successful completion for the general, and hopefully here in the near future we'll be going for extra. This is the processor we use. So that's that. Let me set this out of the way for a minute. We'll kind of get down here and show you the, and again, like I said, I do all kind of different stuff, so you'll notice harmonicas and all kind of junk. This is actually my first radio I started out with. A little bow thing, UV5RA, and that thing still works. It still does good, but we invested last Hamfest we went to in a speaker mic for it, so when we're out and about in the field, makes life a little bit easier. So we'll just set that back over here at the charging station. So to get started with the day-to-day routine, let me set this out of the way. Turn that off. We fire up the processor by hitting that button right there. Then we walk over here. Again, let me fix something here. Sorry about that, I forgot I had everything on. The only unit that's left on 24/7 is the mixer.
And that's just because there's no switch to turn it off, and I don't feel like unplugging it every night. So what I did, because it's a really bright blue LED, I just took a piece of electrical tape and taped over it. But all the buttons still work, everything still works. So you got all your controls here. The only ones we're worried about though is from here down this row right here. And if I want to hook a secondary mic in, I can plug it in right over there and run 2 mics off the same unit. Now, that's all well and good. We got a processor, we got a mixer. But we also have the W2IHY 8-band EQ with noise gate. Now you ask yourself what a noise gate is. Hang on just a second here, let me grab this. Anyway, you ask yourself what the 8-band noise gate is. And basically what that boils down to is you throw that switch on and you see that green light right there, that's your transmit light. And that basically picks up all the room noise. If you flip that switch there, cuts all the noise out. But you have to use this little slider over here to dial that in. So as you can see right there, we've got that set where it needs to be. This is your monitor volume. There's a little monitor jack back here on the back where you can plug in a set of headphones. Which brings us to the next phase, well, second to next phase of our little shack tour. Now with this radio I use for HF use, it's good to have a set of headphones. I use the Koss studio headphones. I forget the exact model on those right off the top of my head, but anyways, so we use those for that. Still using the same stock VHF mic, but I do have an adapter where I can hook up to the studio setup if I want to, or a different mic. D104 hand mic if I want to use that. But to run the whole show, we're use a 70 amp power supply from a motorhome. So that's that. We got that tucked away down here in the bottom. And now let's get to the radios, meters, and tuner, rotor, and the works. Alright. Here is my radio setup. Starting off with, we have the Yaesu FT2900R. Very good radio. We're going to set that on scan. There we go. Let's turn that down for a minute. And again, turn this one down. Next thing we have is the LDG YT1200 tuner. And finally, the big boy, the Yaesu FT450 Delta. That's my absolute favorite radio out of the lot. So there you go with that. Then moving over, we have our VHF SWR and power meter. Cross needle. Pretty good. And then another cross needle meter for our HF use. This is a Daiwa meter rated for 2,000 watts. So we got that. And then of course the antenna rotor, which I have showed y'all, the Channel Master model 9521A. Now for microphone use, as I said, we're using the studio setup. We have the Sterling Studio mic, just like with the pin mic that comes in a kit. And I also have an extra processor in the back in the closet, but I just don't use that for now. Also, down here at the bottom, let me slide this out where you can see it a little better. Excuse me there. We have our foot pedal here, so I can actually key this radio with a foot pedal, or I can use Vox control. And to activate Vox on this radio, all you've got to do is hit F, or the function key, and this one right here. Now what's going to happen is that's going to turn on the Vox. So let's jump out of what's going on here. As you can hear on 15 meters. Turn this down for a minute. Also, make sure I've got the monitor turned on. You can actually, if you go into this menu by holding down the function key, you can go in and do a voice record, voice transmit, and you got two of those, so you can use that free call sign. I used to use that when I first started, but we leave it on monitor. Okay, so we're going to hit exit, hold down the function key, hold down the function key for a minute, then hit this button right here, and that turns on the monitor. Now, I'm going to have to turn this down and dial it in just a little bit. We're going to hit over here. This radio has been modified, so it'll be, it can be used for citizens band use or whatever, but I prefer to have my radios unlocked, because if you have to use if you have to do something outside of whatever, and you don't have the capability, like for emergency use, it's better to have the capability. So let me stop the video for a minute, and we'll be back here and show you some more about this radio. Okay, well, this is the basically y'all are seeing what I see daily with the 450D and the setup, but I'm going to give y'all a little sample of what the audio sounds like. Now the internal speaker does not do the audio justice. That's why I use headphones. So with that, this is what it sounds like with Vox. Hello, 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 KK4RQO test 1 2 1 2 audio 1 2 3 4 5 KK4RQO test. Now, as you heard, there was a little bit of a feedback there. That's why I use headphones with the Vox control. So we're going to go ahead and disable monitor. And next piece of equipment we're going to show is, I'm going to jump back up here, get out of that. We'll find a busy band, maybe. Let's go to 20 meters.
And the Lord shall raise him up, and if he has committed sins, they shall be forgiven him. Confess your faults one to another, and pray one time.
That's fine, that's good. Sorry, there's not much going on 20 meters. Let's try 40.
And QRP stations, we often have bunches of them. Mobile.
Let's drop back down here. Let's find a clear frequency. Okay. Anyways, so we're going to jump to AM real quick. As you'll notice, the SWR meter, I take that back, the tuner is out of line, disabled. So we're going to zoom in and let y'all see what I see. Let's set Excuse me. Keep forgetting about that. Anyways, audio 1 2. Audio KK4RQO 1 2 3 4 5. I gotta throw a dead check. So hang on just a second here. As you'll see, it's showing up at a 4, and this is the Antron. Excuse me. Let me disable Vox. This is the Antron 99 that's out there on the tower that you just saw. It's a 4. It's off the scale. But watch this. We hit this little flashing button. Oh, let me bring it up to here. We hit this little button here. That just engaged the LDG YT1200. Let's turn all this. Yeah, let's turn down. Hold this button in. Let that little light go out. Where my finger is. Now watch this. Tunes it up just fine. Now watch this. We're going to give it another dead key. Okay, so now y'all saw it. Perfect SWR. I can actually transmit on 40 meters with the Antron 99. Now, I'm not sure if I'll make a contact for y'all today, but we'll try. This is Kilo 4, Romeo Quebec Oscar is the frequency in use. Flip it around here, let y'all see the power output of the radio. Now keep in mind this is on the 200 watt scale, so it starts from 25 and works its way up because 20 watt scale, 200, and then 2000. This is Kilo 4, Romeo Quebec Oscar is the frequency in use. Oh, my bad. I keep forgetting I'm on AM. Let's try this again. There we go. Now then, let's show y'all what it does on sideband. This is Kilo 4, Romeo Quebec Oscar is the frequency in use. Alright, we'll set you back up on the radio. Let me zoom it out just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and turn the Vox back on. This is Kilo 4, Romeo Quebec Oscar is the frequency in use. CQ. This is Kilo 4, Romeo Quebec Oscar. Kilo 4, Romeo Quebec Oscar, Northeast Georgia, calling CQ and standing by. We'll try a couple of times. If we don't get nothing, I mean, it is what it is. You win some, you lose some. But I just figured I'd like to see the shack and what we use there. Also, while we're waiting on a response to that call, raise this up just a hair. Again, there's the FT 2900R, and there's a few. It's scanning, and there was a few occupants on a repeater in Thomaston, Georgia. Let's try it again. CQ, CQ, CQ. This is Kilo 4, Romeo, Quebec, Oscar, Northeast Georgia, calling CQ and standing by. Let's try going up band. There's nothing going on today. But anyways, that's the basic gist of the shack. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. As always, please rate, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, and to all the new ham contacts that seeing this on QRZ. Thank y'all for looking me up, and please subscribe. There's a few more videos, and I'll try and, as I do something different, we'll try and make more videos, you know, as time rolls on.
One more thing I forgot to add, YouTube, in the video is, if you're wondering how I hooked up the studio mic set up to the FT450D, there's a place on eBay you can go to. It's called Handmade Parts, and I'm going to put a link to his store in the video. He makes some very incredible connectors, so it don't matter if you have an ICOM, AC, whatever. He's got a connector for about any radio or anything you want to do. So please check his store out. Show him some love. Give him a little cash. You know, a few green stamps helps all of us. So I'm going to put a link to his store in the description. Please go there and check his stuff out. He's an incredible, incredible person. I've bought 2 plugs from him, one for my 2900R, one for the 450D. So, because honestly, the stock hand mic on the 450D just does not cut it. It just does not cut it. To get a better mic, go with his deal if you don't want to do a lot of soldering and work on your own. And it'll save you a lot of frustration. The 4-pin's a lot easier to mess with. I don't solder myself, but I always buy mics that are soldered to the Cobra style of pin work. And stuff like the, radios like the 450D, they don't have a lot of stuff that requires a lot of, whatever, like the 2900R does. 2900R has a DTMF pad on it, so you have to have that. Makes life a lot easier on the radio, but the 450D does not. 99% of the stuff you can do on the radio. Actually, for all intent and purpose, 100% of the stuff you can do on the radio. If you're just too lazy to spin the VFO, you can scan with the mic, and that's about it. So, anyways, that's all for today, folks. Thanks for watching. As I said there, check his stuff out on eBay. Buy his products. Pass the word along. He's a great guy, and I sure enough appreciate you help there, Les. So with that, 7-3s, God bless. We'll catch you on the next video. Who knows? It could be radio related. It could be music related. It could be mini trucks. It could be 4-wheelers. Who knows? But until next time, we'll catch y'all later. God bless. 7-3s.